Eugene Williams, a 17-year-old African-American, tragically lost his life on July 27, 1919, in an incident that ignited the Chicago Race Riot of 1919. Born on March 10, 1902, in Georgia, Eugene moved to Chicago with his parents, John and Luella Williams, around 1908 or 1909. The family resided at 3921 South Prairie Avenue in the Bronzeville neighborhood, then known as the Black Belt. Years before the brutal murder of Emmett Till became a catalyst for the civil rights movement, the death of Eugene Williams played a significant role in shaping the fight for racial justice in the United States. His tragic killing on July 27, 1919, sparked the Chicago Race Riot, one of the deadliest racial conflicts of the early 20th century. On a hot summer day, Eugene and his friends built a makeshift raft and ventured into the waters of Lake Michigan near the 26th Street beach. Due to the city's informal segregation practices, black beachgoers were expected to stay within designated areas. However, as Eugene's raft unknowingly drifted into the waters near the 29th Street beach, an area unofficially reserved for white beachgoers, tensions escalated. A white man, later identified as George Stauber, began throwing rocks at the young men, striking Eugene in the forehead. Unable to stay afloat, he drowned. His friends and other witnesses called for justice, demanding that the police arrest the perpetrator. However, the white officers on the scene refused to take action, igniting outrage among the black community. The Chicago Race Riot of 1919. The police's refusal to hold Stauber accountable triggered immediate unrest. Black residents, frustrated with decades of racial injustice, took to the streets to protest, while white mobs launched violent attacks on black communities. The conflict quickly escalated into a full-scale riot that lasted from July 27 to August 3, 1919. By the time the violence subsided, the toll was staggering. 38 people were killed, 23 black and 15 white individuals. 537 people were injured, many suffering serious wounds. Thousands of black families were left homeless as white rioters set fire to black neighborhoods. The riot exposed the deep racial tensions that existed in Chicago and throughout the country, foreshadowing the broader struggles of the civil rights movement. The injustice in his death certificate. Despite eyewitness accounts confirming that Eugene Williams was struck by a rock and drowned as a result, his official death certificate listed drowning as the cause of death, without acknowledging the racial violence that led to it. This omission was not just an administrative failure, it was part of a broader pattern of systemic injustice that denied black victims accountability for racial violence. Legacy and remembering. Eugene Williams. For decades, Eugene Williams' story was largely overlooked in mainstream history, but his death was a defining moment in the fight against racial segregation and injustice in America. In 2021, more than a century later, his grave, previously unmarked, was finally given a proper headstone, ensuring that his memory would not be forgotten. Included below are historical records related to his case, including his death certificate, which falsely attributes his death solely to drowning. A 1919 article from the Chicago Defender, one of the most influential black newspapers of the time, covering his death and the subsequent riot. Photographs of the Chicago Race Riot of 1919, capturing the destruction and violence that followed his murder. Eugene Williams's tragic death serves as a powerful reminder of America's long history of racial injustice. His story continues to be a symbol of the fight for truth, accountability, and racial equality.